And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter, along with our odds maker, Keith Fewster. We're live here at the historic Laurel Park paddock, and it doesn't get much better than this. A beautiful Sunday afternoon of live racing here at Laurel. Nice carryover in the Rainbow Pick Six. They're steaming the Maryland Blue Crabs up there on the apron. We have the big Laurel Park Crab Feast today. A beautiful afternoon of racing on store.
What a difference a day makes. We need this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been miserable
We're due.
around here for the past few days, and we come out of it, not a cloud in the sky, nice high sunshine, temperature, maybe the mid-80s, about it, and just low humidity. Really is a great day for racing, and we've got the Crab Feast today. Couldn't ask for anything more.
A couple races on the grass, a big 10-race card. We have a nice carryover that's been building in the Rainbow Pick Six. There it is today, 8,200, a little over 8,200, $8,258 for that Rainbow Pick Six carryover. It'll start in race 5 today on the 10-race program. My $67 on-air ticket yesterday hit for 5 out of 6, so I get about $275 back from that. So I'm going to put that back into the Rainbow Pick Six today. I know you like the late pick 4. I like the early pick 5 as well. I think some nice wagering opportunities here for the 10-race card.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the sprint races have been taken off the turf. The races that stay on, I believe, are races 3 and 7. 3 and 7 are going to stay on the turf course.
All right, so 3 and 7, the 2 races going long on the turf, they stay on the bowl game with the rail at 17 feet. The sprints, which I believe were races 1, 5, 9, and 10, they come off, and they'll be run on the main track. Main track listed as fast right now. Turf listed as good. Beautiful day. A lot of sun shine out, but we'll probably stay at good because we had a whole lot of rain the past couple days.
We did, and we may have to adjust accordingly, maybe yielding. We're just going to have to watch them go over the course, see how they travel, how much we get kicked up.
All right, so you're saying it might be going more that way rather than going towards the firm
I
turf
would
course.
think.
Okay.
We just have had so much rain. Yeah.
All right, so say about good to yielding for the turf rather than good to firm. Beautiful Sunday, though. Let's get right to it here. Let's show you what's on tap for the Laurel Park Crab Feast. They're steaming up there now. They brought them here in a big truck. They're steaming them live here on site. Maryland hot steamed blue crabs, all you can eat today from 1 to 5. It's $65 a person. It's all you can eat crabs, fried chicken, pulled pork, mac and cheese, corn on the cob, all the fixings, all the cold soda and cold beer you can drink. $65. You can't beat that. And it starts at 1 o'clock. You can just walk right up there and buy your tickets at the apron today.
And you're telling me that the plan of attack is what? What do you start out with? Just go straight to the crabs?
Straight for the crabs, and you get a big tray.
Yeah.
And they're going to be so hot, you're going to have to let them kind of cool off a little bit on your table when you dump them in that big pile in the middle of your table.
Then mix in a little bit of chicken, throw a little bit of chicken with the Old Bay, the spices, and then finish it up probably the mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese finishes up, yeah.
Okay.
Now, save room for the cookies and cakes and all that. They'll have all you can ask for down there at the Laurel Park Crab Feast. So that's today. That's going to bring a big crowd out here today. I have a feeling there were around 200 tickets sold already for the Crab Feast. Still room for you, though, so you can buy tickets right up there. It's under the tent on the apron for the Crab Feast, so check that out today. And, let's talk about the big national races for the weekend. We had one yesterday, the Jim Dandy. We saw our Preakness winner, Cloud Computing, go against the Derby winner, Always Dreaming. And, they went on a suicide mission early on. It all fell apart, and here comes Billy Mott on his birthday. Dave Rodman, he gave me the horse yesterday. It was a dog fig special, I think, on Good Samaritan on his dirt debut. He gets the money, and my man Nicky Zito, the greatest of all time, he's second in the grade too, Jim Dandy, with Giuseppe the Great.
Patience, I guess, for Bill Mott and the Rod Dog. Yeah, Dave Rodman right on top of that winner. Tipped off to a couple guys upstairs, and hopefully you had Good Samaritan, a nice payout.
All right, so that was the Jim Dandy yesterday. Today, the big Haskell, the $1 million Betfair.com Haskell Invitational up there at Monmouth, and we'll be rooting on Irish War Cry. He's a 2-time winner here at Laurel Park, including a stakes win last December. This was his game win in the Belmont Stakes, where he was in front turning for home, ran a huge effort going 1.5 miles. Tatr for Todd Pletcher going to run him down, but I would have to imagine the New Jersey-bred Irish War Cry sitting on a huge effort today for Grand Motion in the Haskell up there at Monmouth.
Yeah, faded a little bit in the Derby, not too bad. He draws inside with some other speeds. Timeline's an interesting horse. Practical Joke is another one I think you're going to have to keep a lookout for there. So it's a really nice compact field, but very competitive bunch in the Haskell today.
All right, so the Haskells later on. The crab feast goes from 1 to 5, and then hang around here. Watch the Haskell from Monmouth Park. Sunday brunch today as well. If you don't want the crabs, well, we have you covered in the Garden Terrace. Come join us for Sunday brunch, $22 per person. If you like Bloody Marys and mimosas, we have you covered for that as well. So lots of specials here. Crab feast. I'm looking at the menu for the Sunday brunch. Aside from the brunch up there in Tycoons and Tips, we have a new chef here. How about this for a special? Garlic and rosemary marinated ribeye with pan-seared diver scallops, sweet potato mash, and grilled asparagus spears. Sign me up for one of those. The crabs might be a little too messy to eat on set, but I can maybe dive into a little ribeye and some scallops.
That'll be your appetizer.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, next Saturday is going to be a big one here at Laurel Park. We have 4 $75,000 added stake races. The Virginia Breds are coming to town next Saturday. We'll have a big crowd here and some great racing with 4 stake races.
Yeah, looking forward to that. You know, some nice runners. We've seen some of these Virginia Breds. Don't discount them. I mean, there's still some nice horses bred down there. And looking forward to a good crowd. Like I say, they'll come up, and we'll have a nice crowd, live crowd in attendance for the Saturday, August 5th day. Some nice stakes there, 4 of them. The Meadow Stable Stakes, the Camptown, the Hansel, and the William Backer.
All right, so the nominations are out. I believe like 95 nominations for next Saturday. Some monsters like Special Envoy and Queen Caroline. They're no strangers to winning stake races around here. They're nominated. You can catch all the nominations on the laurelpark.com website. So that's next Saturday. Hey, hats off to everybody for raising some money yesterday for the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund. It was all over the country. Gulfstream was doing some fun stuff down there with the dunking booth. We had the roadie pony jockey dash here that was won by Angel Cruz, Javion Toledo, the runner-up. We raised over $3,300 for this event, so nice job by Phoebe Hayes and everybody raising some money for the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund.
That was great. I had a side bet with an owner here. I'll leave him nameless.
All right.
And I lost. I tried to pay my debt up this morning, but he was kind enough to let me put my money back in my pocket. So he had a little inside steam he had told me on that particular jockey. So, you know, I'll know better for next year. Maybe I can take advantage of it on somebody else. So, yeah.
All right, so Angel Cruz gets the money in the Roadie Pony Jockey Dash yesterday. We raised over $3,300 for the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund, so good stuff there. 2 carryovers for you today. The Rolling Super High Five, that will start in race 3 today. A little over $1,000 for that Rolling Super High Five, low 15% takeout in the Super High Five. Every race was 7 or more entries, so that starts race 3 today. Then the big carryover today, the Rainbow Pick 6, over $8,200. I played it yesterday. My ticket, it hit 5 out of 6. There was one single. No, there was a couple singles going into the last race.
I think there was 2, right?
Yeah, 2 singles for about $10,000. So with the carryover today, we'll have a big crowd here today. They'll put about 5,000 in there. So if you can be the only ticket, you might have a nice $12,000 signer here today in the Rainbow Pick 6. So I'm going to play it today. You like it today?
I'm gonna play a smaller ticket. I'm sure the early pick 5 yesterday. I felt real bad. You know, I squeezed it down like a $16 ticket. Another $8. I hope you threw in my third selection in race 5. You would have taken down close to $300 on that smaller investment. So yeah, I should have spread a little bit deeper there. $16. We can go a little bit more than that.
All right, I like the early pick 5 today. I have a $32 ticket for that. Let's get right to it. Are we here already? Race 1? All right, did we show the track conditions already?
Yeah.
All right, things are flying by here. All right, my bad. Well, we'll get to the early pick 5 there. There's the. Let's show everybody the beautiful conditions here. We'll be fast on the main track. 2 races, races 3 and 7 are on the turf. Turf listed as good. Beautiful weather conditions today. About 82. Doesn't get much better than this. Let's get right to it here. All right, guys. Race 1, 80s and sunny, fast and good. Race 1 will be on the main track here, 5.5 furlong dirt sprint to kick off this early pick 5. It's a mandatory payout on the early pick 5 with that industry low 12% takeout. Always 12% takeout on both the early and late pick 5. The early pick 5 is always a mandatory payout. I have a ticket. Let's take a look here. A $32 play. I'll go 4 deep here in race 1 using the 1, 4, 5, 7. Going 4 deep there with the 2, 3, 4, 5 in the second race. I have a $10, a 10-to-1 key horse for you in race 3, number 4, Wiseman. I'll tell you more about that horse, but trainer Milan Milosevic having a heck of a summer. He gets the hot rider Sheldon Russell, who had a big day yesterday with four wins yesterday. So the hot connections there with the 4 Wiseman, my key horse in race 3. Then going 2 deep there in races 4 and 5. I like the early pick 5 today. There's my ticket, a $32 play. Let's take a look here at the opener. 5.5 furlongs, 25,000 starter allowance, optional claiming 25,000. Scratch the 2 Super Buddy. Everybody else stays in. And I go with the 5, Lil Love Machine on top here for trainer Hugh McMahon. McMahon and Katie Davis, they've been red hot all summer long. And this horse with a sharp maiden win against maiden special weight company up at Penn National, last out 55 Buyer speed figure. I think that puts him right here. I think Hugh McMahon getting lucky with this race coming off the turf, just like last time when this horse won by 3.5 at Penn.
Got a little bit lucky. Has a turn of foot. Showed pretty good speed at 22-3 opening quarter and debut back in April against the likes of Victory Chimes Club and Happy Farm in that race. But there is some other speed to the outside and even to a little bit to the inside. But I think she gets pressure from run from the 9. I really like the 1 in here, Cherokee Spirit for trainer Gina Rosenthal. No Guts, No Glory stable. They're rolling right now.
Sure.
This horse showed a vast improvement off the layoff. First off the layoff from October to July to mid-July last time out. Looks a little bit even on page, but was willing to the finish. Had a little bit of trouble. Was carried wide. Was 3 or 4 wide throughout. Drops inside. This horse showing a little bit more speed in the mornings as well. I think this horse keeps a little Love Machine and run from the 9 intact, in touch. Makes a run and wears them down. Cherokee Spirit, really like this horse to get it started.
Should improve off the long layoff there. Gina Rosenthal with, I think, a 2-win day on Friday. Had a first-time starter that won.
Yep.
So, yeah, the barn's clicking well. This horse should improve here today. So I like the 1. Tough inside post maybe. See if Acosta can get the horse out of there in good order. So I used the 1 in my exact. We both like the 7 as well. Tipu Run on the outside. Leading rider Victor Carrasco on this 3-year-old colt by Astrology. And there was a nice first-time starter by Astrology that won yesterday. Dynamic asset for Lacey Gaudet. Let's see. Chucky Lawrence takes over the training here for this 3-year-old. Who's kind of fallen apart here his last few races. Right. See if in for a tag for the first time today can wake him back up.
Yeah, he's shown a rating gear in the past, right? Is he going to revert back to that form, the debut run, a going behind Dancing with Maud, then a gallop out win by 5 1/4 up at Penn National, and then all of a sudden the wheels fell off for Tipu Run. New barn, maybe that'll pick his head up. A decent work leading into this race. I think he can rate and make a run into it.
I'll use them in my top 3, and I'll throw the 4 in there. Love You Much for trainer Ferris Allen. Big win on the turf last time, going 5.5 furlongs to break his maiden 3-year-old son of Not for Love. See if he likes the main track today here. Caramanos aboard. So 5.5 furlongs on the main track there in race 1 to kick off the early pick 5. Race 2 to kick off the early pick 4. 3 pick 4s this afternoon, starting races 2, 4, and 7. And it's a nice 5,000 starter allowance affair here for filly and mares. 6 furlongs on the main track to 3. I tried to go against his favorite here, but Tim Kreiser, 29%, 83 winners already on the year. That's a powerful stable. And Sharon Gunther, she's a 5-year-old mare in top form right now. She just crushed a nice field of starter allowance company at Penn last out by 13. Dana Whitney comes down to ride. She doesn't have to go to the front. She can stalk or she can go to the front. Very versatile mare who's having a phenomenal year. 6 for 8 in the money this year with 3 wins.
Looking at the field, it's going to be hard, I think, to keep her off the lead stand. She shows a pretty good turn of foot at Penn National. Turn the tables on Dancing Ine, who beat her 3 races back, and she just pummeled her by 13 last time out. You know, you've got her and Frisky Whiskey. You look at these 2 horses' form, it's pretty suspect, and all of a sudden, look at how their numbers have jumped dramatically. The 2 Frisky Whiskey falls a little bit further off the pace, but the trainer, Marco Salazar, you know, going back over his career, he's 30%, believe it or not, synth to dirt with an ROI of over $4. I'm going to go away from the top 2 favorites. I think Lemon Lover is proven over the racetrack. A little stat for Kreiser, and I'll probably knock him right into the winner's circle. Over the last couple of years, he's only 1 for 15 at Laurel when he got with the horses that have coming off of a win. So most of the time he comes in here with horses that win at Penn. They're knocking them dead up there. All of a sudden, they've got to come to Maryland. She's never run over this racetrack. We'll see. She might go ahead and show up and gallop, but I think Lemon Lover, Jonathan Maldonado with 2 wins yesterday on the card. Claim for 5, protect, move into the starter here, 3 for 7 at Laurel. 6 furlongs, the perfect distance. I know Kieran tried her 2 back at 7. She faded a little bit after a middle move. I think she's perched right off the speed and gets it done.
When you get the leading rider there, Victor Carrasco, the barn's red hot. Lemon Lover, first off the claim there for Maldonado. Positive ROI recently and 20% recently, first off the claim here for Maldonado. So I use that one in the mix here where we have a 5-horse field here in the second race. How about the 5, Hug a Tree? I use in the exacta for Mary Epler. Caramanos aboard. She's good on the turf and the main track as well.
Right.
She won in the mud at Pimlico against a tough 7,500 starter allowance field back in May. That was her first start this year. She's capable on the main track for strong connections here, and we'll get a decent little 9-2 price on her.
Once again, proven has run okay. She's going to have to run a little bit faster on the dirt to go ahead and beat the likes of the favorites, but I'm going to use her underneath just because, of familiarity with the surroundings. These other two coming in, first try over Laurel, going to be shorter prices. Let's go for a little bit more value in the 4, Lemon Lover, and throw the 5, Hug a Tree underneath.
All right, Salty group there for 5,000 starter allowance company in the second race. Nice group of maiden runners here in race 3, and we'll start that rolling super high 5 here in the third race. And we'll carry over today a little over $1,000 for that rolling super high 5. It's a low 15% takeout. Every race with 7 or more betting interest, and it'll start right here in race 3. Over $1,000 here for the super high 5 carryover. It's a maiden claiming 40,000, 3 and up, going a mile on the bowl game turf course with the rail at 17 feet. And I like a first-time starter in here, Keith. The 4, Wiseman, Sheldon Russell with a huge day out yesterday with 4 wins. This is a 3-year-old gelding bred for the turf here by owner breeder Ted Mudge by Northlight. You know that's turf breeding. The Dam, we remember this horse enter stage left. She was a nice upper-level allowance runner around here going long on the turf for Holly Robinson. She made about a couple $100,000. And this guy's a half-brother to Capucine, who's made about $80,000 for these same connections. Milan Milosevic and his wife Sonia Alexic, who probably galloped interstage left when Holly Robinson trained her, because Sonia, Milan's wife, works for Holly Robinson. Good connections here. Milan having a big summer, 4 for 7, and he gets the hot jockey. Lasix in debut, some nice works. They worked her with the dogs up on the turf here at Laurel, and then some nice works over there at Pimlico. I think she's well prepared here for the debut, number 4.
Yeah, asking a little lot. Going a mile, first time out, but catches the right bunch. I mean, really suspect group of runners, I believe, in race 3. And the way the barn's going, as you say, interstage left, made plenty of money on her. Half the Cappuccini hedged up close to 70 on the buyers and stretched out okay and ran all right going long. So I'm going to use him in the mix. I think Larrikin, first time Claudio, might be even a little bit of value, believe it or not. Might slip away at maybe a 4 or 5 to 1 price. I can't see favoritism being much lower than 3 or 5 to 2 in here for any of these runners. But first time Claudio, first time reported gelding, working forwardly in a new barn, and I went back and looked at some of those races on the turf. Golden Gate, okay. The horses have come back to run all right. I go back to that debut run at Santa Anita with a couple horses have come out of those races and run well. I think Larrikin sitting right. He's ready to go off of a 7% trainer to a guy that's hitting about 3,000% right now, Claudio Gonzalez.
Red hot.
This horse will stalk the pace, and I think will churn on and get a victory. That's the 2, Larrikin. Repeat the 1 for Michael Matz. I was a little surprised to see a first or a Delaware for Matz golf at 54 to 1 in debut, but then I went back and looked at the field. You had a Delacour winner, a Christophe Clement second place finisher, and Stidham run 3rd, and those horses have come back to all run well. Was hampered by the outside post. This horse will sit a good stalking trip from inside.
I like your top pick there, the 2. I respect that one. I'll use that runner in my exacta. Victor Carrasco, of course, your leading rider, should get a nice ground-saving trip here from the inside. First-time gelding on the 2
That's what
as well?
I had seen, yeah.
Okay.
Reported, yeah.
All right, first-time gelding on the 2, so take note of that. I think the main horse to beat, so I use that one second. About the 10 on the outside, Sensor for trainer Rodney Jenkins. Steve Hamilton aboard. This horse, 3-year-old by Blame, has a couple turf sprints under his belt. Now they stretch out to a mile for the first time out of a deputy minister mare. So some good breeding here to to stretch out, and some nice works here recently, going 5 furlongs here at Laurel for the comeback race. We haven't seen this horse on the track since June 9th, but it's been working well here in the morning. I think the 10 will like the added ground here in race 3.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and confirm that on Larry. I don't know why I saw that. I could have sworn I saw it on Formulator, so if I am wrong, if anybody can double check on that. But still, he will be my selection.
Okay.
No matter what. Century, yeah, interesting. Comes out of a good race, Expedited Division and Dundalk race. Can he sit and make one run? And he looks a little bit maybe like a one-run sprinter, but looking at the breeding stand, he should stretch out a little bit. Yeah.
All right, so and then let's see who else. Well, the 8 we throw in there, Maryland Pride for Sagamore Farm, and Horacio de Paz. They've been red hot together. So well bred, 3-0 by Hard Spun. Caramanos gets aboard today for the first time. They tried this horse sprinting on the dirt 2 times. Now coming off a layoff, hadn't run since January. Now we're going long on the turf. Let's see if that the added ground and the surface change can wake Maryland Pride up here.
Yeah.
Bred to be better than what we've seen so far.
I have to publish iterator who saw around here. I think Broken Maiden might have been on the dirt. By Hard Spun, we know they can handle the grass course. Yeah, peg the board. I do think play is going to come in just the way this barn is doing so well, Horacio de Paz. I'm going to take a stand against her and try to shoot towards the inside with the 1 and the 2.
All right, I like the maiden race there. In race 3, all over the 4 Wiseman. We'll see if I'm right there, see if the connections stay hot. I got lucky there with the first timer yesterday with Lacey Gaudette. She's been red hot all year with the first time starters.
Probably had that horse lined a little bit, but you saw the money came down off of that 10 or 12 to 1 morning line and stayed there, just consistently. And that's what, as a bettor, you've got to do that. We're going to miss sometimes on these firsters. You know, Barn, she does okay with firsters, but you had some other horses you knew that were going to take plenty of play. So yeah, you line a horse 10 or 12, and that horse takes play, takes consistent play. Yeah, you got to get some credence to that, and don't throw those horses out of your race.
Well,
you know, especially now with I'm not saying you can obviously end a pick 3 or pick 4, but if you're going to go ahead and start one, you may want to do, and that's what I did do in that race and started a gimmick with that.
And I'll probably get everybody at 10 to 1 on the 4 Wisemen in race 3 because you have Michael Matz, you have Claudio Gonzalez, you have DePaz, you have Trombetta, Rodney Jenkins. So it's a nice betting race if you like a price there in race 3. Let's take a look here. Race 4 to kick off the middle pick 4, going 6 furlongs on the main track. 25,000 starter allowance here, optional claiming 25,000. I go with the 6 on top. Notable game. I remember this game, the mare. Deck game, an old Maryland mare here. Eric Worth, longtime Maryland breeder and owner. So 3-0 filly by Great Notion. Nice maiden win last out by 9.5 against maiden 25,000 company. I think she's well spotted here against starter allowance company for Dove Houghton. Who's having a nice summer as well. 3 wins from 18 starts. Good to see the Dove Houghton barn having a good meet.
This race was impossible to line. Absolutely impossible to line. I can't wait to see where the public goes in race number 4. I think it is even tougher to handicap. Notable game, where'd that race come from? Just absolutely gallop, was geared down late. Yeah, the final 8th, a little bit slower, but 6A had a little bit more in the tank. Jockey just took her well in hand. It took, the last 16th of a mile. I was going around and around and around. The blinkers came back off for Truly Hot, the 7 for Trombetta. I liked her last time. She did encounter trouble, but kept on willingly in that turf race. I think transferring back to the dirt where she won her debut over a good sealed surface is going to be the ticket for Truly Hot. I think you've got some speed in Spunky Linda, Joyful Noise, Miss Mischievous. Even Notable Game, I think, will be fairly close. Tightly bunched field, I'm seeing turning for home. Truly Hot from the back of the pack to maybe pull a mild upset.
You'll get a good price here on this filly. I guess they're trying to figure her out.
Yes,
they ran her long at Pimlico in the mud, synthetic at Presque, sprinting on the turf last out, blinkers on, blinkers back off. They're trying to figure her out. Trombetta, he's 21% this summer, so eventually he will figure her out. Maybe today's the day. I go against her, though. The 4 Fergie's Lady, a big maiden win last out for Claudio Gonzalez and Victor Carrasco. They're red hot. This filly's in good form right now. Probably a big step up from the maiden 10 to this 25,000 starter allowance, but the connections are doing everything right these days.
Yeah, got the confidence, no doubt about it. But, man, she beat a weaker bunch and did it easily, walked the dog on the front end. she's going to have to show that she can kind of sustain into some pace.
Right.
With the one being sent away from the inside. I don't think Joyful Noise or Miss Mischief has said we're going to be up close. They're going to be up there early as well. But Fergie Slater, confidence builder for a red-hot barn. But I go elsewhere. I go Truly Hot or even Holiday Magician. I like these Mary horses that transfer back turf to dirt. She hits a real high rate, positive ROI, almost 30%. You look back the last time this horse tried the dirt, it was first off the claim for Mary. Good effort, got the lead after trouble. Heaven's Door came back to win. I guess a little bit lesser yesterday. Too tough in that A other than state bred, and then tried the turf. And turning back, this horse is sneaky. Take a look at this horse on track. I think she's going to look good. I think she's going to run a big race here for Mary Epler.
All right, let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, we have a nice carryover today in the Rainbow Pick 6, a little over 8,200 for today's Pick 6 carryover. That starts in race 5. We'll start with that when we come back. The best bets at Laurel Park are the Pick 5s, and we have 2 of them. The early Pick 5 starts in race 1 and is a mandatory payout. The late Pick 5 is the last 5 races of the day and has carryover potential. Both Pick 5s at Laurel Park have an industry-low 12% takeout. The Pick 5s at Laurel Park, your best bet. Welcome back today at the races presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter, Keith Fustel on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. 10 live races. We have 2 races on the turf. Races 3 and 7 stay on the turf today. Races 1, 5, 9, and 10 they'll be run on the main track. The Maryland Blue Crabs are steaming out there on the apron. You can walk right up there to that tent on the apron and buy tickets today for the Crab Feast. That starts at 1. All you can eat Maryland Blue Crabs from 1 to 5. So enjoy that Sunday brunch cooking up there in the Garden Terrace. And we have a nice Rainbow Pick 6 carryover cooking, a little over 8,200. I was 5 out of 6 yesterday with my $67 ticket. So if you put it through the window, you got back $275 for my play yesterday. I'm gonna play. I don't have a ticket here, but I'm gonna play the Pick 6 today. It's a nice carryover over 8,200. They'll put about 5,000 in money into it today.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I have a ticket for the early Pick 5, so hopefully I'll be live going into race 5 to kick off the Rainbow Pick 6 here. Maybe I just do a little win place bet on my pick here in race 3.
Okay.
If I get lucky there with my first time start in race 3, then I really go in after the Rainbow Pick 6. Starts in race 5 today. 5.5 furlongs on the dirt, claiming 11,000 for filly and mares 3 and up. And I go with the 1. Caramanos was named on both parts of this Kieran McGee entry, Crystal Pier and the 1A, No More Excuses. He decides to go with the 1, Crystal Pier, so that's where I go as well. The 1, Crystal Pier, over the 5, Charm City.
Yeah, it looks like one of these two. I was trying to sniff out a stranger, and I really couldn't do it. Poco Loco. Maybe the speed of the speed, but No More Excuses isn't going to let her get too far away. Charm City, a good effort. 3 races back in that race, taken off the grass at Pimlico. Hug a Tree and got the best of Poco Loco. I just think Crystal Pier might have a little bit more sustainable run than Charm City in this particular race. She's fine over a fast dirt track. Kieran steps in, wasn't scared to go ahead and take it from Linda Rice. She's been a little bit goofy, this horse, running through the stretch, switching leads a couple times, drifted in late last time. Maybe he can squeeze a race or 2 out of Crystal Pier.
All right, so we're both in agreement here. 1-5 Cold Exacta. The 1A runs as well. No More Excuses. And that horse has been in good form. 4.5 furlongs at Charlestown. Figures to be right there. Maybe that'll be the early speed to set it up for Crystal Pier.
I think that's the plan.
All right, so 1-5 Exacta for both of us there in race 5 to kick off the Rainbow Pick 6. We kick off the late Pick 5 here in race 6. Industry low, 12% takeout on that late Pick 5. It starts here in race 6, 5.5 furlongs on the main track here, claiming 5,000. Never won 2 lifetime. Let's take a look here at the 6, Irish Handcuffs. This is his last race, July 14th here at Laurel Park for trainer Steve Casey. J.D. Acosta was aboard. This time, let's fire it up here one time on Irish Handcuffs, fellas. Stevie Hamilton's going to ride today. 5-1 morning line here. I used the horse in my top 3. Here's the race last out.
Yeah, number 7 this particular day. And you're going to see, was bet down to 5-2 and just took a shot right there as a horse to the inside, came out, bore out a little bit, and really kind of knocked Irish Handcuffs almost off stride in jockey J.D. Acosta, and this horse moves up. I was, intrigued that I was surprised, I should say, that Humboldt Street went ahead and got the lead in this race. I like the Iron Bank in this race. I like him again today, but you're going to watch Irish Handcuffs move up again in between horses and have to steady, check off heels, leaving the 5/8 heading to the 4.5 furlong marker right there in the blue with the yellow cap. And that's enough to throw this horse off a rhythm. That's good enough, guys. No late run whatsoever. Thought if a little bit more moisture was in the track, it was going to help the chances of Irish Handcuffs today. It's a fast track. We'll see. He's run okay. He's run a mid-50 number before on this surface, but he gets plenty of speed with the likes of Adversary, 50s Music. I think even Turbo Booster will be up close. He'll make a run. The Iron Bank, though, I'm going to come back and give him one more try. I thought he was cycling into one of his better races last time. Maybe the 7 furlongs was just a little bit too far. I like the way Hamilton rode him, took a hold, made a move just to flatten out down inside. I think he gets a good post position today, can sit out on the speeds, maybe lay about a length or two off of him, make a move around mid-turn, and try to throw the knockout punch. So a little better price with the Iron Bank and Irish Handcuffs.
Well, you get the good ride in J.D. Acosta there on the 8. I overlooked him, though. The horse a little cold this year, 0 for 8 this year, 0 for 8, 0 for 6 here at Laurel Park. But been hanging around, knocking at the door at this level, and should get a nice trouble-free trip out there, stalking in the clear. I don't use that runner. I use the 5 in my exacta here. 50s Music, a good second last out at this level, and get 7 pounds off again with the apprentice riding for trainer Kenny Decker. 9-2 morning line here. Ran a good race last out here at this level. Going 6 furlongs. Went to the front that day. Hopefully he doesn't have to go to the front today and get caught up in an early speed, or maybe can get a good stalking trip with the Bug Boy aboard.
Got the better of the Iron Bank on the 18th, but the key on the 18th was it was a negative rail day. 50s Music was able to rebid 3 wide. I think that was a little help to 50s Music. You know what you're going to get from him. He's going to go out and force the issue and try to fight you tooth and nail. Buzz Light is a closer as well. I think he's improving nicely. His last couple dirt sprints have been all right. He'll be making a run from the back of the pack.
All right, so race 6 starts the pick 5 today. Let's take a look here at the late pick 4. I know you like the late pick 4 today. It starts in race 7. We're going a mile on the bowl game turf course with the rail at 17 feet here in the 7th race, claiming $16,000. Never won 2 lifetime. Let's take a look here at your pick 4 ticket starting in race 7.
Yeah, $32 ticket, manageable. We're going to get it started with the 3 and the 8. The 8, he's one wild dude's been a really unlucky the last couple. Maybe he's got the right kind of feel to get over the top today. 4 deep in race 8. Some really nicely bred firsters stand. Looking forward to race 8 on this afternoon's racing card. Fillies, 2-year-old maiden fillies, maiden special weight variety going 5 furlongs. We got a spread in that race. 2 deep in race 9 with Miss Swisher and Discreet Deceit. I think they're the 2 to beat. 4 deep in the last 6, 8, 9, and 10. Hoping Gator Boy at a price to come rallying to get it done for your price to blow things up and make it a profitable pick 4.
All right, affordable $32 play. Let's take a look here at race 7. My top pick. Oh, we have a video spotlight here. How about Jack Fisher? What a summer he's having here. And he got the money with Wild Dynaformer, 5-year-old by Dynaformer. Here he is on the dirt last time. Wins like a good thing. Nice, respectable 64 buyer speed figure. This was his first race on the main track coming off the hurdle races.
Hammered down to even money. You know, he had run an okay race, I believe, on the dirt prior. Freshened up since May, and Forrest Boyce just sitting there waiting. She cruised up to the dueling leaders, leaving the half-mile pole, and look at this little aggressive move in between horses at the top of the stretch, and it's over. You know, Wild Dynaformer responds when put to a drive, leaving the quarter pole, and opens up by 3.5 in mid-stretch, and wins under a drive. I think it sets them up perfectly. That's good enough, guys, to go ahead and come on back today, transferring back to the turf course, which I think he's better on the grass. You go way back to September of 2016, a 1.5 mile maiden special weight. He's got a buyer of 73 down at Kentucky Downs. War Daddy, second place finisher, recently ran a 90 up in Belmont. So keys up. His run against the right kind. I think Jack Fisher, he's rolling right now and wins right back.
Yeah, 2 for 5. We both like the 3 Wild Dynaformer over the 8. He's one wild dude. This horse been hanging around for Ricky Silliman. Beaten favorite 2 starts ago, a good second last out. It was a nice win sprinting on the turf here last April. Just trying to find that late kick to finish these strong. He's been running well. Just needs a last late punch to get it done here.
And Gabby and I were talking about this horse. Is he a little bit better sprinting or a little bit better longer? I really like him at 5.5, but at this level, the miles should suit him perfectly. There's not a lot of speed. I think Story Spinner moves outside to inside, might go ahead and send, but he's one wild dude. I think he's going to take the field into the stretch. Once again, can he hold off the late charge of a horse like the 3 Wild Dynaform or even the 5? Don't poke the cat. Yeah, but he's honest. I mean, just been a little bit unfortunate the last couple races.
All right, maybe one of the races of the day, race 8. This could be one of the nicest maiden special weights in the country today. 4 2-year-old fillies going 5 furlongs on the main track. Race 8 will kick off the late pick 3, and man, what some nice fillies in here. The 6, G. Hosacat by Tatr. The 7, Amaroka by Spitestown. But I go with the horse that has a race under her belt, the 2-year-old filly by Exchange Rate, number 3, Theodosia, for trainer Cal Lynch. A very good second in her debut. She was bet down to about 8-5 that day. Sheldon Russell was aboard. Russell back aboard today. This filly was beaten by Limited View, who was a very impressive debut winner for John Salzman Jr. They took her up to run her in the Schuylerville up there at Saratoga. Something happened in the paddock, but still that they thought high enough of her to go up there against Grade 2 company at Saratoga. So I think the 3, Theodosia, coming out of a very strong race. She was forwardly placed in that race. She's going against some monsters in here with some of the top breeding in the country. But I'll go with the 3. Cal Lynch having a big summer, 31% winners. So he's 21% with his maiden second start with a nice positive ROI over $5.
That's a real good angle for him. Yeah, we've seen that in the past. And, you wonder sometimes, you see these horses, they run the crack debut, a big number. And then, second time, I think, oh, man, we've got her set and ready to roll. And you open up the racing forum or wherever your track PPs, and you get your program, you're like, oh, God. Delacour, Motion, we got them all coming at me. Into Mischiefs, Tappets. You got the 6-horse Jehoshaphat, a full to Divining Rod. All he did was win first time out at Laurel. Did it going a mile, but showed speed. Then he went on and won the Grade 3 Lexington Stakes. This horse is working bullets. The 7, Almond Roca by Spitestown. The mare was 2 for 3 sprinting on the dirt, a half to an 18-time winner. So here's a little stat for you. Grand Motion over the last couple of years at Laurel, Stan, 10 for 35 with first-time starters on the dirt.
He's rolling.
Pretty strong. Yeah.
He's rolling now. The 6 is going to get bet a lot by Tappet. The Dam, Precious Kitten, trained by Bobby Franco. She made almost $2 million, but she was multiple Grade 1 winner, multiple Grade 1 winner. However, that was all going long on the turf.
Right.
So maybe in Divining Rod, he was going long on the dirt, right? So maybe the 6, he's can't get better breeding than this for this Gretchen and Roy Jackson homebred, but maybe just needs a sprint race, maybe needs to go longer down the road.
Exactly, and that's what I'm sure the connections. I think another good effort is in store for Theodosia. It would not surprise me at all if she won it. You've got a horse like the 1 Lucky Cover. Look at that breeding. Teammate, multiple Grade 1 placed. I think won the Grade 2 Chuvy at Belmont back in 07, topped out at 100 on the dirt. In Jail, the 4 for Trombetta, out of a mare that was 2 for 4 at 2. We know the Into Mischiefs can run. So, yeah, you're right. This is the race to kind of look forward to on the card and see what it produces moving forward.
Yeah, one of the races of the day. Race 8, maiden special weight for 2-year-old fillies. Let's take a look here. Race 9 to kick off the late daily double, 5.5 furlongs on the main track, rated as fast. Filly and Mare's first level allowance contest here in race 9. And I end up on the 3, Discreet Deceit, who ran an okay 4th last time in the mud. She didn't run very well at all against Allowance Company 2 starts ago at Delaware. Didn't in over her head in the Grade 3 Miss Preakness, but a good second against Allowance Company last April here at Laurel Park. She's been working well in the morning. A bullet 5 furlong work July 23rd here at Laurel Park in the slop. So it looks like she's sitting on a big effort here for Ollie Figgins and Forest Boys.
Yeah, you had some of the speed taken out with the 8 Sarah's Whisper. I guess the 2 Pyrrha will go ahead and maybe try to send, but Discreet Deceit. The one thing is she likes Laurel a lot, and she ran credible last time out on that muddy sealed surface. Quick internals, 22 and 2, 45 and 4. A little fade, ascertained, much better than these fillies. I don't think she necessarily needs the lead. She just forces the issue and goes on with it. I think her main competition is the 1 Miss Wisher for Maldonado. We talked about it earlier, a couple wins yesterday. This horse turning back in distance. I thought maybe you could fool her last time out. She rated and then just kind of rated into submission. It was flat. Turning back to the 5.5, expect a much better run from off the pace for the 1.
All right, so I used the 1 in my top 3. The 9, Bayshore Drive, a sharp win last out against 16,000. 3 Life Company, this 4-year-old filly by Uncle Mo. She's won her last 2 in a row. Young trainer here, Jeremiah O'Dwyer. He's 2 for 4 this summer, 6 for 26 this year, 23% winners, and he gets Sheldon Russell to ride. So I think the 9, you like the 9 a little bit as well here, Bayshore Drive.
Can't really knock her at all, but she's going to have to run a little bit fast. She's going to have to pick up a couple lengths if she's going to beat the likes of the 1 or the 3.
All right, so nice dirt sprint there for Allowance Company in race 9 to start the late double off. Race 10 will be going 5.5 furlongs on the main track, claiming $16,000 here for 3-year-olds or older. Horses never won 3, and I go to the outside here, the 10, St. Ignatius. Good-looking win last out, dropping from Maiden Special Weight Company at Penn National, facing winners for the first time. They jammed the horse in for $10,000 to life, and he won by 5, going away, claimed by Tony Ferrier. Victor Carrasco rides today. First off the claim, leading rider, Victor Carrasco board. I'll use the 10, St. Ignatius on top here.
Yeah, I don't mind St. Ignatius reaching, grab for 10. Yeah, really ran well. Got a nice setup, though. They went pretty hot and heavy on the front end. The duelers came back. This horse swooped 5 wide to go clear. Awesome type. Going to take a lot of play forward, and Hardwin both got what they wanted. Main track onlys. But if you're looking for price, I took the 6 with Damon DeLavico last night in the nightcap. I'm going to try it again with Gator Boy. Improved effort, getting the job done. It took a while there to get through that condition. Gets up by a neck, almost 18 to 1 on the grass. The dirt races, they're okay, but I think there's enough flow in this race, Stan. I go back to the 7 furlong race over the winter. I only got beat a couple lengths behind 10 Hut Iredell. Better horses than these. These horses have gone on to run well, have been pretty consistent. Gator Boy at a slight price. Also maybe use the 8 Sunrise Sunset.
The barns are red hot, 5 for 18, 28% winners so far this summer for the DeLavico barn. So you get a nice price there on the 6. We're all over the place here. And we both like the 8 and 9 as well there. The 9 runs, the main track only horse there, awesome type. Be tough for trainer Jamie Ness. So hope you're alive and all your multi-race wagers going in to race 10, races 3 and 7. They stay on the turf today. Races 1, 5, 9, and 10 will be run on the main track. We're listed as fast on the main track. Good on the turf course here. We'll kick off race 1, 110. The crabs are steaming up there. Sunday brunch getting ready. Going to be a beautiful day of racing.
Fast, good, and hot crabs. And cold beer.
Cold beer.
That's it.
Can't beat it.
Get it.
And a nice pick 6 carryover today starting race 5. Dave Rodman, he gave you good swell. He gave us Good Samaritan yesterday in the Jim Dandy. He's coming up with all today's scratches and changes. Good luck today.
Good luck.